Factoring trinomials using the rainbow method, example 6. This example will show how to factor trinomials when there's more than one variable. So here's our expression 4x squared minus 11xy minus 3y squared. And you notice we have an x variable and we have a y variable in this expression. First, we need to write our expression in standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. And looking at this expression here, we notice that the x variables do fit this form. We have an x squared in the first term, an x to the first in the second term, and the last term doesn't have any x's. So we can continue using the method. We need to find the a, the b, and the c. So here a is equal to 4, b is equal to 11, and c is equal to 3. These are just the values, the numeric values, that are leading each of these variables. Now we need to multiply the a and c together. So a times c is equal to 4 times 3, which is equal to 12. Now we need to find all the factor pairs for 12. Starting with 1 times 12. Next we'll have 2 times 6. As we increase, we have 3 times 4. And we found all the factor pairs for 12. Now we'll link our factor pairs together. 3 and 4 are linked together. 2 and 6 are linked together. And 1 and 12. Now we'll find the sum and difference for each factor pair. We'll put the sums on the upper corners and the differences on the lower corners. So 1 and 12, the sum is 13, and the difference will be 11. For 2 and 6, the sum is 8, and the difference is a 4. For 3 and 4, the sum is a 7, and the difference is a 1. Now we need to locate b and mark the pair that use that. So b is at 11, and down in this lower corner we have an 11, and we use the 1 and the 12 to form the 11. Now we'll rewrite the expression with this pair. So we'll put the first term and the last term with lots of space in between that we're going to fill in. We're trying to form a negative 11xy, where both variables are present in this term. So using the 1 and the 12, we have a plus 1xy minus a 12xy. And these are both like terms, as they need to be, because we're going to combine them together to get the 11xy back. So now, we'll factor by grouping. We have our first group and our second group. And in our first group, the only thing in common as a factor is an x. So we'll factor out the x. That'll leave a 4x plus y. From the second group, we could factor a negative 3y. That'll leave us with a 4x plus y. Now we need to check inside the parentheses. We have what? Plus 4x plus y in both parentheses. These are identical, so we can continue. So factoring out the 4x plus y, that leaves us with an x minus 3y. And we found the factors for our expression. So let's multiply and check these factors. So 4x times x gives us 4x squared. 4x times a negative 3 gives us a negative 12xy. X times y, and the last, y times a negative 3y, and we get a negative 3y squared. Combining our like terms, we end up with 4x squared minus 11xy minus 3y squared. So our factors check when we multiply them together. For this method, you just need to make sure that when you write your terms in between, you have both variables present, the x's and the y's there in each term, so that there are like terms. That concludes the method. Thank you.